Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. I have a wonderful guest in studio today. It's Jean Reuter. She's founder and CEO of TrainPeople.com.
Yes.
Jean, tell me a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, what Train People is a training consulting firm, and we provide corporations with training services. And that can range anywhere from, developing a training program for something that's changing within their organization to systems changing as well. So we work a lot with change management, and we also work a lot with companies that just need to have a training program put together. So most of it's always custom work that we're doing.
That's awesome. And tell me a little bit about how you got started in this, or what you're trying to help people to learn when you're in this training programs.
Well, I started this back in 1989, actually. Actually, I started it as Reuters Professional Services, and then in 1998, I knew that training, there's instructor-led, and then there's e-learning, which is the online learning.
Right.
So that's why the name of the company is TrainPeople.com, because in 97 I realized that's where training was going.
Sure.
So that's what we do a lot of, is developing online learning for my companies that I work with.
And how do you've kind of taken a little change with this with your thoughts on training. So tell me a little bit about that. This, to me, I think is wonderful. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, just recently, last year, I was part of Jack Canfield, who wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul, and he also wrote the Success Principles. I was part of his Train the Trainer program. And that was the most fabulous program I ever took. And I have been involved with Jack. He's like a mentor to me since 2012. And what I'm doing now with my company is developing workshops, and these workshops are called Heart-Centered Workplace, the Heart-Centered Workplace. And we develop skills for a heart-centered workplace, which brings joy, passion, and productivity back into the workplace. And I'm actually writing a book on that regards as well. But what this is just helping people and helping corporations to feel better about work, to be more compassionate. What I do in the training is develop teams, develop relationships. We develop passions. I give them a passion test that was actually founded by Janet Atwood. And it is the most amazing thing, because I've taken it and I have changed the way I'm doing things with not only my business, but my personal life as well.
And why is passion so important? I hear that word from you a lot, and I want to know, how does it drive you?
I think passion drives everyone. If you're passionate about something, you're going to really take that and move that forward. If you're passionate at work, you're going to be feeling better about work. You're going to be feeling better about what you're doing. And, it's all about positive thinking and being just, in the moment and always enjoying what you're doing.
That's awesome. And you bring this all to your company of what you do. You also talked to me a little bit about balance.
Yes, that's one of the biggest things that I, really want to bring forward in the corporations. There's a lot of people, and I myself, up until 3 years ago, was working 80-hour weeks. And now I don't. I spend time doing some of my passions, and I spend time, working on my business as well. So I really have more of a work-life balance than I used to have. But that's some of the things that we teach in this seminar, is how to do that.
Right. Well, I think a lot of us can get lost, as we are trying to move the business forward, and it becomes out of balance, and we lose our heart and soul a little bit.
Yes, we do.
And that's where you guys can come in and kind of help that, and also help get some training done, which is often something, I think, especially in today's business place, that we have forgot about.
Correct.
We're working so fast and moving so fast that training is kind of, figure it out as you go.
Oh, yeah, and I hear that a lot. And, taking the time to do a training class, and one of the things that I find, if you just take this, training class I have developed, it could be 3 hours, it could be 8 hours, we could spread it across weeks. I find that no matter what, the people always feel better. That next day, people come in and they're smiling and they're happy. Because we take 100% responsibility for ourselves. And I teach that. And people sometimes don't realize that, that an event that happens to you is 10%. How you react to that event, 99% of how you really, what happens.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Now, you've taken your own training and kind of put it into play because you have another passion, and that's children's books.
Yeah, writing.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell me about the book that you wrote.
Yes, I wrote a book called Oodles of Love, The Power of Positive Thinking, and it is about a young girl who has negative thoughts throughout the day, and we turned that around using my dogs, who are little Labradoodle puppies. Oh. And I've actually dedicated the book to the animal-assisted therapy program at Edward Hospital. And it's just a delightful book, and it made my world light up because it was a passion I had for 30 years, and I decided to go ahead and do it. And I published it in November of last year, 2014.
That's awesome. And are you bringing this into schools?
Yes, I am. I have a Dare to Be Positive program that I am bringing into the schools, which is kind of a challenge, for teachers, administrators, and the children to be positive for a day, a week, and it's just a cute program. But I do readings in the schools and things like that as well.
And how has that been received?
Very well, very well. Yeah, they love it. The kids love it. Everybody loves it.
Well, I love the title, Dare to Be Positive, because, our first thought sometimes is to go negative.
It is. And it's hard. It's hard to,
it is.
And a lot of times, there's this. You can have a negative person in the workplace, or even as a friend or whatever, and that it sucks the energy out of you.
Right.
And it's like if you be positive, people tend to like to be around positive people and happy people, and people have been found. It's been found that you could even improve. Your position in the company by just being a more positive person.
I would absolutely agree with you. How do people get in touch with you, and how do they, if they want to do some training with you and talk to you about that, how do they get in touch with you and how do they work with you?
Well, they can contact me through trainpeople.com,
okay.
the name of my company, the name of the website. So I have my email address of jreuter@trainpeople.com as well. And I'm on LinkedIn. Good. As well.
And you're willing and able to customize?
Absolutely. That's what I've been doing for 30 years. I customize every training program. There is, and even the Heart-Centered Workplace Skills Workshop, we customize that as well because there's multiple principles that we can teach in the workplace. Well,
and with time, people's time being so busy, it's nice to be able to go from, 3 hours to 6 hours to 1 hour.
Absolutely.
Or online.
Yeah. That's true, and I am developing a course online for the Heart-Centered Workplace.
Well, that sounds perfect. Jean, thanks for stopping by and sharing what you do with us. Your energy I can feel it here, and I'm sure they can feel it out there, so I really appreciate it, and we wish you a lot of luck.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
We're going to be right back with more Business Connections. Stay tuned.